When I say grandfather of FPS games, what is the first game that comes to mind? If you're a nerd, you probably said Wolfenstein. But if you're cool, like everybody else, you said Doom. Everyone has heard of Doom, the classic series that's still making games to this day. But I've only played the modern Doom games. Can I really be a gamer if I've never played any of the classic Doom games? Heck, all of the mainline Doom games? And I might as well rank all of the games while I'm at it. Because, YouTube and all that. So I decided to play every mainline Doom game to see why this series has survived and thrived for so long. Man, this is gonna suck playing these games back to back. You start off on a base somewhere, and like most old games, they don't give you any context. That's the manual's job. So, you are a Marine, and after assaulting a superior officer, you get transferred to Mars. Like the actual planet Mars. The Union Aerospace Corporation, UAC, has been making gateways on Mars's moons, but all of a sudden, demons start coming out of them. So you're sent to Phobos with a team, and this is where the game starts. Also, everyone is dead, so it's all up to you, so good luck. Even though it's the second FPS ID Software ever made, it plays really well. You are just running around shooting enemies while looking for the exit. You have multiple guns at your disposal to kill a wide variety of enemies. It is smooth gameplay that once you get into it, you feel like you're skating on ice, killing everything that has the audacity to stand in front of you. But man, are you fast. I don't know what they fed this Marine, but you go from 0 to 100 real quick. The game was made before they got a proper running speed that felt right, so it took some getting used to, but I ended up loving it. It made combat so much more exhilarating, but sadly this is all this game has going for it. But what were you expecting from a DOS game made in 1993? A deep story? The most you get is a wall of text after every episode. Basically, you fight through hordes of enemies and try to get to Mars' other moon, Deimos, but you get ambushed, except you don't. So you kill the cyber demon that rules Deimos, and when you look down from the moon's surface, you see hell. Like actual hell. So you rappel down to hell and fight through the army of the damned, killing the spider demon that led the invasion of the moon bases. Going back to Earth, you realize that the army of the damned have invaded. And that was the original ending for the game. They would release a 4th episode after Doom 2, but it's just you fighting on Earth and then killing another spider demon. Also, canonically, the demons have killed your pet rabbit Daisy. Thus, it leads into Doom 2. There are some gameplay aspects I wanted to bring up before I talk about the story, however. In both games, you physically cannot look up or down. That was way too advanced for the time. So what do you do if an enemy is on a different level? Well, you just shoot in their general direction and the bullet will find them eventually. The game also looks great with amazing sprite work for its enemies, its environments, except for the skybox. It's just whenever you rotate the skybox, it kind of rotates with you and it gives me motion sickness. They just didn't know how to make skyboxes yet, but most of the time you're indoors, so it's not that bad. I also somehow never mentioned this, but the environments are all in 3D, but the characters are just 2D sprites that are always facing you, giving the game such a unique art style. So the story is that humans want to escape Earth via a spaceship, but the demons put up a force field that won't allow that to happen. So naturally, you shut it down and decide this needs to stop. So you travel back to hell and fight the Icon of Sin. It's a good final boss fight where you need to climb up to activate a platform, then using the platform, very precisely shoot 3 rockets into the Icon of Sin's exposed brain. Yeah, they're basically the same game. You can see why I grouped them together in this chapter. Graphics wise, nothing changed, but Doom 2 had bigger and more complex levels. The gameplay for these games is amazing. Despite doing the same thing of going to a different part of the map and killing everything in the room in search of the exit, it was always fun. But Doom 2 started to have too many enemies at times. How many of you are there? But does the gameplay get boring? What? Does a bear get tired of pooping in the woods?
This sucks.
In both games, I got lost. A lot. Yes, there is a map, but it doesn't help that much. Most of the time, the way I got lost is not knowing what a switch did. There are doors that you need to hit a switch in order to open them, which, that's pretty normal. But sometimes the switch is on the other side of the map. So I would hit a switch and nothing around me would change, and I'm just standing there thinking, what did that do. So I'm just running around all over the place, either trying to find some hidden switch that I didn't see, or trying to figure out if a door is now open. Both games are very short though, so it wasn't the worst thing getting lost. That's really the only complaint I had. These games are incredibly fun. You can just turn off your brain and go through the motion. It's like a dance of going 100 miles per hour, strafing around your enemies and landing your shots. Not to mention, there are a lot of secrets for you to find. You have amazing guns, but once I got the super shotgun, I never even thought about using the regular shotgun again. Multiple guns also use the same ammo, so yeah, it's fun to use the BFG 9000, but then I don't have ammo for my plasma rifle. So it was mostly a cycle of, oh, I ran out of plasma ammo, I'll use my chain gun for a bit, then I'll use my shotgun for a bit, and by that time, I've replenished my plasma ammo. I did like the amount of enemies that Doom 1 had though, but the maps in Doom 2 were better. Out of the two games, Doom 2 is the better experience. Not because it's drastically different, but at least it has a final boss that feels right. Yeah, Doom 1 had the spider demon, but like, come on, fighting the icon of sin in the game where you go to hell to fight demons? That fits so much better as a final boss. So Doom 2 right now is the best Doom game so far, with Doom 1 right behind it. Two great games that have earned the title of one of the greatest games of all time. They are a lot of fun. Now, fans would make more levels for these games, and they were included in the bundle that I got. But none of them had the word Doom in their title, ignore this one, so we're going to move on to the Nintendo 64, where every game series was moving to the third dimension. Except for Doom. Kind of. So this game still carries the tradition of having 3D environments and 2D sprites, but it has way more complex levels as well as complex 3D objects that the other games lack. Doom 64, not developed or even published by ID Software, this game was made by Midway Games, but it takes place after Doom 2. It even plays like the other two games, but I begin to realize something. By the 7th level, I got lost, you know, as I always do, but I stood there thinking of what I was supposed to do. When it hit me, where's the music? Yeah, I got lost in the last two games, but at least I had amazing music to listen to while I was trying to figure out what to do. I mean, like, amazing music. Every song I heard, I loved in these games. But here, there's nothing. It's just ambience. I don't want to listen to nothing while I'm already upset that I got lost again. Do you know what else this game doesn't have? A story. Yeah, the last two games barely had a story, but after every couple of levels, they at least tell you what's going on. But here, you get nothing until the end. So what is the story? I guess demons are back, so I go to hell and kill the mother demon. Then the Doom guy decides to stay in hell so that the demons can never rise again. This is important, and you should remember it. But I did just sum up the whole story in one sentence. Hey Grizzly, what do you got there?
Oh, it's a nothing burger. Symbolism.
While it is basically the same game, it's missing important aspects like music and a story. So many people can hum the original Doom song because it sounds so great. Music doesn't necessarily make a game, unless it's Nier Automata or Guilty Gear Strive, where you're just buying an album and getting a free game with it. But it can take a normal game to the next level like it did with Doom 1 and 2. As for the story, I get it. The first two also didn't have a story, but at least it gives you context as to what's going on. Here, you just keep going until the game is over. The levels were also bigger and more complex, which is great, but I got lost so much more often than in the other games. As I was playing it, I realized I'm not playing Doom, I'm playing Lost. But do you know what I hate the most about Doom 64? It was still a fun game. And of course it is. It's Doom. As long as you can run around going the speed of a race car and shoot everything in front of you, it's going to be a good Doom game. I did run into the same issue that I had in Doom 2, where the enemies never stopped coming. Where are all of you coming from? There were some things debuted here, like the Nightmare Imps and a new gun called the Unmaker. It's fine, but it doesn't make this game stand out from the other two. The only thing this game has going for it is the complex maps. Allow me to explain to the best of my abilities, which isn't that much. So 3D games can have multiple floors above and below one another. This is impossible in Doom 1 and 2. The way the game renders the levels, it physically cannot do multiple floors. I never realized this because, to me, games were always able to do this, not knowing that it just wasn't possible back then. But now it is possible in Doom 64. So you have much more vertical levels, which is really nice. But I still had more fun in Doom 1 and 2. So while it is quote-unquote the worst so far, it's still a fun game that if you're a fan of the Doom series, you should play this game. With how similar it is to Doom 1 and 2, it should honestly just be called Doom 3. Except it's not, because this is Doom. So, some context for this game. Doom 64 came out in 1997, and then nothing. There was nothing Doom related for 7 years. A new game used to come out like once every other year before this. But 7 years in between games? That's drastic for the Doom series. Finally back to being developed by its original developers, ID Software, who wanted to take this game in a different direction as we approach the modern gaming era. Finally, we're in the era where games start to have an actual story. You play as a Space Marine being transferred to a USC base on Mars with great value Heisenberg. Heisenberg is interrogating another scientist, Dr. Petruger, about incidents that has been happening at this base. While I go find a lost scientist who is freaking out trying to warn everybody about the test Petruger has been performing. Why? Oh, that's why. Yeah, they wanted to make Doom into a horror game. Now, the early Doom games had horror elements in it, albeit there would just be a room where it's dark. But now, Doom 3 is a true horror game, filled with darkness, jump scares, and even more darkness. Yeah, the game is just really dark and it's super annoying. Hopefully you can see what's happening on the screen, but that's me doing my darndest to make this gameplay actually watchable. This is what the actual game looks like. It's dark. They did redesign all of the demons to make them look more realistic, and they do look creepy, but the game isn't that scary. Honestly, the scariest part about this game is that you have to reload your own gun. I guess I never explained that. So on all the games before this, you never had to reload your own gun. Now that you have context, the scariest part about this game is that you have to reload your own gun. And I get it. FPS games have evolved greatly since the Nintendo 64, such as having the ability to look up and down. But modern FPS games have you reloading your weapon, which is, realistic. So they wanted to be like the other FPS games and have their own reload animations. I just don't like it. It's mainly because I didn't need to reload until this point. But they also messed up reloading. Once you start reloading a gun, you are stuck in that animation. In other games, you're able to cancel out of an animation just in case you need to switch to your secondary on the fly. But not here. Once you decide to reload, you are stuck reloading. This has caused me to get cornered by demons and not be able to do anything until my reload was done. It is just annoying and can be a deadly decision at times. So I keep complaining about this game. But what about the story? Well, it most certainly is one of the stories of all time. So Heisenberg wants to kill Dr. Petruger, but he keeps running away. So I chase after him and find the best weapon in the game. A chainsaw. Are you tired of wasting so many bullets on the undead? Don't you wish there was a faster, easier way to kill these demons? Hi, Shiro here with a special YouTube offer. Introducing the chainsaw! The best weapon in Doom 3. Simply walk up to your enemies and they all die in an instant. Worry that the chainsaw might not be the best weapon in your current situation? Don't worry. The whole game is just narrow corridors, meaning you are always going to be in close quarter combat. No joke, the chainsaw just cuts through the enemies. Grizzly, you... Guess I'll just have to do it myself. Thus ends the joke. I do find Petruger, but only on the TV, so I guess I'm still chasing after him. Got into a train that didn't allow guns, crashed it, then I got completely lost, like it was bad how lost I got. Which happens a lot in this game. So the game has this mechanic where you can click anywhere on the tablets like you can in real life. The issue is they made this the modern day switches. Luckily, they don't do something like having it on the other side of the map anymore. But I just can't find them. I know, I'll just check the map. Okay, I am somewhere between the Y and the O. There is no map in the game. Every other Doom game had a map that I could at least refer to in case I got lost. But not here. That, and like I keep saying, it's just super annoying how dark this game is. I learned of this artifact that can possibly stop Betruger. I just need to learn about the power of teleportation. I do find Betruger, so he sends me to hell. Yeah, as he does, it's a defense mechanism that all doctors have. I find this artifact that I need, but I have to fight this mini-boss first, and I don't understand what I need to do. The boss doesn't have a health bar, so I have no feedback as to whether my attacks are working or not until the game tells me itself that it's not. I need to shoot down the floating things around him first, and then damage him. So I am attacking him. And attacking him, and attacking him, and attacking him, and attacking him, and nothing seems to be working. Because again, I'm not getting any feedback as to whether or not I'm doing the right thing. And as it turns out, I wasn't. What I was supposed to do is, after shooting down all the floaty things, I needed to shoot the blue portal that appears above his head to damage him. Even once I knew what to do, I was still getting no feedback at all. He didn't groan a little bit, he didn't stagger a little bit, no feedback as to tell me whether or not my attacks were actually working. It is a creative boss, just executed poorly. I do kill him eventually and bring the artifact back to base, so the artifact can kill anything in one hit, but it needs to charge up first. It's just treated as another weapon. I then find an elevator to hell and face the final boss, a cyber demon. And once again, no feedback as to whether my attacks are working. Turns out, no, they are not working. He is literally invincible to every attack except for the artifact. So you throw the artifact at him and then run around killing other demons to charge up the artifact and then hit him again. Once you learn this, the final boss becomes a joke as it's really easy to keep avoiding him. But I defeat the cyber demon, which stops the demons from coming to Mars, I get rescued, and Betruger became a demon off screen. The moral of the story is, don't make a deal with evil or something. So, you decided to take a game series into a different direction, but it didn't really work out. There's no positive message at the end of this. They messed up, and it is not a good game. It's just not fun. It's mainly the new mechanics that they added to try and bring Doom to the modern age. Back when Doom 64 came out, the biggest complaint that people had was it's just the same game over and over again. So I don't blame them at all for trying to change the game a little bit. But between not being able to cancel your reload, getting lost so much more often than in the other games, and it just being so dark, it ended up not being a good experience. I will give this game 2 positive points. You can kill every NPC you see.
It's the only safe place. Try to find it. Oh,
Please hurry. There are combat supplies in the storage cabinet in the next room. The code is 624. I hope you can use it.
You might call that cruel, and you might be questioning my mental health. But I call that mercy killing. Also, the game sure plays out like a Doom game. You just go from room to room killing everything in front of you. The game being dark doesn't change that. Once again, however, I was getting overwhelmed by how many enemies there are, and there are some enemies that just wouldn't die. The Kako Demon and the Chain Gun Commando especially, they took basically the entire magazine just to die. I know, it's still a weird complaint to have, but I wouldn't complain about it if I didn't notice it. And it's not that I don't want more action in my Doom games, but I just kept finding myself thinking, how many guys are there? They just don't stop coming, and they always spawn behind me. I may or may not get hate for this, but I am confidently putting Doom 3 in the last position. I can guarantee you the next 2 games will be better than this. People do like this game, and that's fine, but to me, it just doesn't feel like a Doom game. You have to reload your weapons. That's not Pinky, and that's not in the game at all. I don't know what that's doing here, but you get my point. It just doesn't feel like a Doom game. But now, the series would be cursed, as for 12 years, nothing Doom related would come out.
What about the Doom RPGs?
Nothing important Doom related would come out. But once something did, it changed Doom forever. The game starts describing demons as rage, brutal, without mercy. but you are worse. Rip and tear until it is done. You then wake up in a coffin and just follow what the voice said. Rip and tear until it is done. You get your suit back and you realize this isn't the same Doom guy from before. I mean, it is, but remember how the Marine decided to stay behind and fight off the hordes of hell in Doom 64. An experience like that is going to change a man. You'll learn more about your enemies, and especially how to kill them better. You become such a menace that they need to seal you in a coffin with a special mark to warn other demons not to open your coffin. You are no longer the Doom guy. You are the Doom Slayer. God, I love that intro. This is already shaping up to be a good game. Funnily enough, it was meant to be Doom 4. But it ran into quite some development issues. They decided to cancel Doom 4 and rework the entire game, making it what it is now. They went back to its roots and made Doom 2016 an action game, and man, this is what a modern Doom game is supposed to look like. You move so fast and combat is so much more open. You'll have enemies all around you on different levels. You also have glory kills now. When an enemy is weak, you can melee them and you get a gruesome animation that kills them and you get health. It's a really nice system, as if you're ever in the middle of the fight and you're getting low on health, just glory kill an enemy and then continue the fight. It's smooth and doesn't interrupt the action. In fact, it adds to it. Just an amazing action game. They really redeemed themselves with this game so far. I can keep praising this game, and I will. But first, there's a story I need to talk about. Demons are back on Mars and Dr. Hayden wants our help to close the portal. Turns out the person who opened the portal was Olivia Pierce, who was promised a seat in the new world that the demons create. So she is trying to use the tower to rip open a portal between worlds. And I tried to shut down the tower before she can.
We're only temporarily disabling the tower. You need to remove each lens individually. Carefully release the hinges.
But she ended up succeeding, as I am now back in hell. Now I'm not. Sadly, the portal can no longer be closed on Mars' side. So Hayden tells me that the Helix Stone can help direct me to the well. So for some context, before the Slayer is woken up, Hayden led a group of researchers to hell to find a source of unlimited energy. And they find it. They find it in this place they call the well. So I'm going to go to the well and destroy it in hopes that it closes the portal. And it does. When I run into Olivia, whom I completely forgotten about at this point, she is forcibly transformed into a spider demon. It's a really good, tough boss fight, but I defeat her and Hayden teleports me back to Mars, congratulates me on my work, and then teleports me away. Also, he has a cool sword now. They did it. They did it. They made a modern Doom game. It's really as if they brought Doom 2 to the modern era. The graphics are amazing. They redesigned all the demons, but they still look similar to their original sprite design. The maps are big and full of secrets. They even have you collect cards or skulls in order to unlock doors. The combat I already talked about, but yeah, they updated that too. They also added gun mods for you to get in order to enhance the gun gameplay, such as you can make the machine gun shoot missiles. It's really cool. Also, for the first time since Doom 1, they had a perfect amount of enemies. Not once did I question when they would stop coming. Also, the bosses in this game were great. I guess I was just happy that they have a health bar now. People were worried about this, as this is the first Doom game made without any of the original Doom developers. But I think it turned out well. And the music. My god, the music. It is like angels playing music in my ear. If the angels played metal. I did run into one big issue though. So say you want to replenish your ammo, but there's no ammo pickups anywhere. Simply use your chainsaw and demons will drop ammo. But I just never had a chainsaw ready. You need to find gasoline cans to replenish your uses, but they are just never around. So I just ended up never using the chainsaw. There are also some demons that were hard to kill, but because I was never overwhelmed by enemies, it wasn't that bad. It was hard to decide if this game is better or worse than Doom 2. But with the quality of life changes, I'm going to say it's better. I feel like this is the first good Doom game since Doom 2. Yes, Doom 64 was fun, but it was just the same game again. This is truly a different experience. But now they face an issue. How are they going to make the next game stand out from this one? The game starts and demons have invaded Earth and the Doomslayer now owns a fortress in space. Hold on, slow down, you're losing me.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
Okay, I completely understand what is happening. In order to stop the demon invasion on Earth, I need to defeat 3 priests, and immediately I find the first one and threaten the other 2 when I meet the Con Maker. She's this angelic figure who needs human sacrifices in order for her race to live. But Doomslayer doesn't like that, so we'll probably rip and tear into her later. That didn't sound right at all. Hold on. They added so many more tools to help you in combat. You have grenades, ice bombs, a flamethrower, and a blood punch. You also still have weapon mods and the chainsaw, but you'll notice that you have little to no ammo in this game. Because the chainsaw recharges now, so they want you to use it as often as possible. So they fixed the issue that I had with the chainsaw in the last game. Typically, gun-wise, once I got the super shotgun, I had no reason to use the regular shotgun ever again. But in this game, for the first time, I had a reason to keep using the regular shotgun. The super shotgun is just way too good at killing. So if I was ever low on health, it would make more sense to use my regular shotgun to make the enemies weak so that I can get a glory kill. It's just a small thing, but for the first time, I had a reason to continue using the regular shotgun. Bigger demons also have weak points now, fixing the other issue I had that some demons were just difficult to kill in the last game. I love this mechanic so much, as it makes the demons so much weaker and easier to deal with. And the game reminds you, it has aim assist, so you could just quick scope the weak points and it makes me feel special. There is so much to do in combat in this game, but the issue is I keep forgetting about the tools that I have. I keep forgetting I have grenades, or that I have a blood punch ready, or to finish this joke. There's no punchline, just move on. I track down the second priest and he sends a Doom Hunter to kill me. And it's a neat mini boss. I sure hope he doesn't become a common enemy. He becomes a common enemy. But I was able to kill the second priest, and Con Maker, getting scared, has hidden the third priest in a place I would never find. But Hayden might be able to find him, and what happened to Dr. Hayden? Either way, I got him and a Marauder shows up, and he's a challenging mini-boss, with me having to be the right distance away to counter him, and he has so much health. I sure hope he doesn't become a common enemy. He becomes a common enemy. Hayden immediately locates the third priest, but the only way to get to him is through a split gate in the core of Mars. But how do I get to the core of Mars?
You can't just shoot a hole into the surface of Mars.
Watch me, bozo! Alright. But now how do I get to Mars?
That is a weapon, not a teleporter.
Watch me again, bozo!
3, 2, 1.
Whoa. You know, I never thought about my landing at all. I did finally make it to the split gate and make it to Sentinel Prime. This is where Doom Guy became a Sentinel and became the Doom Slayer. What is a Sentinel? I don't know, and I'm playing the game, and I kind of don't care. I'm just here to fight a gladiator and kill the third priest. Khan threatens that she will resurrect the Icon of Sin, so in order to prepare for that fight, I had to get a Crucible Blade, which is the only thing that can kill him. I prevented Khan from being able to control the Icon of Sin, but she was able to resurrect him. So I kill her and go back to Earth to stop the Icon of Sin. It's a great final boss fight, where you just keep shooting every part of his body until you plant the crucible in his head and save humanity. Doom Eternal, more like Doom Nocturnal, am I right? I'm sorry, I don't know what rhymes with Eternal. Great game though, I had a lot of fun. Doom Eternal was a great game. I very much enjoyed it, and it is different from Doom 2016, especially if you play them back to back like I did. You'll notice that Doom Eternal is so much faster, there's more tools at your disposal. But the levels are more linear and emphasizes less on exploration. There are still secrets to find, but the game is just trying to get you to the action as fast as possible. But how do they get you to the action as fast as possible? Well, they simply have more action. Some idiots would complain that this action game has too much action. One of those idiots would be me. It was probably me just trying to beat these games as fast as possible. I mean, I had to beat 6 games in a timely manner, so when something was taking longer than expected, it made me upset. Which is why saying there's too much action in these games isn't a real complaint. It's just a skill issue. They fixed so many issues that Doom 2016 had, like with the chainsaw, but also, the most common cause of death in Doom 2016 was falling off the map. When you fell, you died, and the whole level had to be loaded in again. Now, you just take 10 damage and you immediately respawn, which is great because there's a lot more platforming in this game. And the platforming is a lot of fun. You also get extra lives in this game. If you die in the middle of a fight, you just immediately respawn and don't have to do the entire fight again. The game doesn't look different from Doom 2016, but now it has destructible demons. So, as you're fighting these demons, chunks of their bodies will fly off, and they look super gory. It's just a little detail, but it looks amazing. The only complaint I have for this game is that I prefer the more open maps in Doom 2016. If they make a game with Doom 2016 maps, but with Doom Eternal gameplay, they will have the perfect Doom game. I am going to place it above Doom 2016, however, making it the best Doom game to date. But don't let the ranks deter you from playing any of the other games. Almost every game here was a lot of fun, and I highly recommend you play them for yourselves. Almost every game. But that's it. That is every mainline Doom game. Start off with 2 amazing games, the same game a third time, a little bit of a hiccup, and then 2 more amazing games. From the beginning, it was good, and people knew it. It was so well received, and after playing it, it's still a good game. A nice, fast-paced, run-and-gun action game. And that's what every game had in common, even if one was a little different from the others. You will always be running and gunning no matter the Doom game. It's great to see that a series that has been going on since 1993 hasn't forgotten its roots and can still make amazing games to this day. Were any of the games perfect? No, none of them were perfect, especially Doom 3. If there's one thing you should take away after listening to me, is that you should hit that subscribe button. But also, I just don't like Doom 3. You can love this game for all I care. I just wasn't the biggest fan. The games can be very easily separated into modern Doom games and classic Doom games. Out of all the games, you should play Doom 2 for a classic experience and Doom Eternal for a modern experience. While Doom 64 arguably had better maps and more enemies, Doom 2 has actual Doom music, and I think it's just better. You can't go wrong with playing Doom 2016, but Doom Eternal has better action, which is why I prefer it over 2016. Out of Doom 2 or Doom Eternal, however, Doom Eternal is better. Naturally, it has modern game mechanics. Call me spoiled, but I enjoy having a waypoint and knowing what a switch does as soon as I use it. But that's it. That is every mainline Doom game. Except for one. One more game. One more time. Will I need to rip and tear. Thank you guys for watching this video. It is most certainly a lot longer than most of my other videos. And also, I changed how I wrote this script to seem more genuine rather than just me writing an essay. Let me know what you guys think about it. Also, the first person to count how many times I said the word Doom, including that one, in this video will get validation from me. Thank you to my Patreons, and check out another one of my videos. They're pretty good.